Can you highlight or talk a little bit about the special guests, Vint Cerf? Yeah, so Vint was Phil Wadler's boss back when Wadler was at Stanford. And so we thought it'd be super cool for now these two old men who were very young back in those days to get back together and start a panel. And we'll have some other people on the panel too, and talk about the history of the internet. And in particular, if the internet was made today, what would they do differently knowing what they knew? So it's an open conversation. And the point of that was to really think carefully about Cardano's future, in that if we're successful, the exact same question will be asked of us. We're going to have all these mistakes we made. So we have to understand that we really are standing at the arc of history. And so I felt it was really important to look to the past so that we can have some clarity for the future and hopefully do things a little bit better. And do understand that no matter how well we plan things, there's just stuff that comes up. When Vint was around, the idea of a mobile computer was pretty preposterous. They were very large. The idea of 4 billion computers was a pretty preposterous idea as well. And if the network went down, you'd actually call the person who was running the server on the other side. They had a phone book that would link IP addresses to phone numbers. They even had a phone book for email addresses. So if you couldn't remember the guy's email address, you could look him up in the book, and you could find his email address correlated with his name. That's how small the internet was when these guys were building things. Obviously, things have changed a bit, and so quickly that unfortunately some mistakes were made that we're still working our way through, which is why Google's working on Quick and all these other things. And Vint is a great speaker, so I think it's going to be a really fun panel, and it's just a great opportunity to give us some grounding and some sense of why we do what we do. What was the first game that Phil Wadler built? Justin, actually, I think it was some sort of Pong game, but I'm not sure. So actually, we'll definitely make that Phil's introduction. We'll ask him to talk about that game, because I don't think he gets enough credit for that. And I want to make sure that that gets kind of squirreled away in history, and he gets credit for that. He's done certainly a lot of things throughout his career. He's got more than 25,000 citations, but that's probably one that that history shouldn't forget.